Good evening to one and all. Welcome you all to the daily current affairs session brought to you by Ganesh IAS Academy for the date 13th as well as 14th August 2023 for the news which came in Indian Express newspaper. Okay, let's get into the today's current affairs session. The Forex reserve drops by 2.442 billion, so that now the overall Forex reserve in India has been reduced to $601.45 billion. So this is what the news is related to. Okay. Okay, the Forex reserve has been dropped because of major factors like currency depreciations as well as certain external related events, and also in terms of increased import apart from the export. So these are all the factors which led to some depreciation or reduction in the Forex reserve in India. Okay, how the news is related to the civil service exam is that it is related to civil service exam GS3 economic development under a subtopic called Indian economy and issues relating to planning and mobilization of resource, growth, development and employment. So under this topic only the news will be coming. Okay, let's discuss about what does the Forex reserve in India is about. Forex reserve of a particular country describes or says about the economic health condition of the respective country. In the case of India, it says about economic health condition of the India. And the Forex reserve in India is managed by two statutory acts, that is excuse me, the RBI Act as well as the Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999. So there are four categories of Forex reserve in India. The Forex reserve have been subdivided into four categories. First is the Forex assets. Second is the gold. Third is the SDR, that is called special drawing rights. And then fourth is the reserve transposition of India. Among that, the foreign currency asset holds the major value of the or major percentage of the Forex reserve in India. So this is what the situation of the Forex reserve in India is about. And what does the special drawing right means is, the special drawing right is neither the currency nor the claim by the country. It is the drawing right which is created by International Monetary Fund under which every country according to their quota needed to provide a fund to it. So it will be pooling the fund from other countries also, from other countries, and it will be giving, the IMF will be giving the special drawing rights to those countries which has been affected by the balance of payment crisis, like in the case of Sri Lanka or the Pakistan right now. And then what is the reserve transposition is that the quota which has been allocated to every countries according to the IMF calculation, among the quota a certain percentage of the quotas will be can be used by those countries for their own purpose. For example, if in India, if in the case of India, if India's quota is 4% means, so we have to provide 4% of the special drawing or contribution towards the special drawing rights. That is, out of the overall special drawing rights, our contribution should be 4%. So among the 4%, for example, our reserve transposition is 1% means, so out of the 4% we could able to take out the 1% for our own own usage, that is for India's usage. So this is what is called reserve transposition of India. So among the 4 categories, foreign currency asset ranks holds the major percentage of the asset of reserve. Second is gold. Third is special drawing rights. Fourth is reserve trans. These are all the this is the descending position of the forex reserve in India. So what is the significance of forex reserve in forex reserve is that it limits the external vulnerability. Whenever there is certain shocks or external shocks is taking place means, the forex reserve could able to stem those external shocks. And second, to stem the rupee crisis, whenever there is depreciation is happening because of certain internal as well as external factor, means the RBI intervenes in the deepening rupee depreciation crisis by selling the foreign currency asset or the foreign currency asset into the market, as a result of which they could able to buy the rupee back. So then the demand for the rupee will be created by RBI by selling the foreign currency asset in the local market, so that the currency could again will be in the path of appreciation. Third, it could able to facilitate the trade payment. So whenever the forex reserve is healthy in a particular country means, then those countries import as well as export payment could be paid, and there won't be any kind of debt like situation. And fourth is the confidence to investor. Okay, whenever if a country has healthy forex reserve means, then the investor thinks that okay, the country has healthy forex reserve means, then there won't be any kind of balance of payment crisis in the near future. So the economy will be very stable. So we could able to invest in the country and we could able to earn a profit. This is how the investor will be thinking. So it will boost the confidence of investor, as a result of which the investment in the country will get increased. So these are all the significance of the forex reserve of a country. And what are all the schemes right now being implemented by government of India to raise the forex reserve is that Atmanirbhar schemes. So right now government aims to make India as an Atmanirbhar, that is self-reliant India. Why is that? Government wanted to make India as the manufacturing hub, so that every products could be produced in the India itself. So as a result of which India could able to become a manufacturing hub. So the byproduct of it is that India could able to become an export hub. That is, India could able to export more number of products that is produced locally in India. So if India is exporting more number of products means, it could able to earn a major chunk of forex reserve, a forex currency. There will be some positive trade surplus will be there. So as a result of which more foreign currency asset will be earned by India, and it will be adding to the forex reserve of a country. Second is duty exemption scheme, and also the remission of duty or trade on export product. So what is the duty exemption scheme is about is that it allows duty free import on duty free import on those products which is used as input for producing another product which will be exported to another country. Such kind of products will be exempted from duty from import while they are importing. Second is remission of duty or taxes on the export product. According to WTO, only the products or the services needed to be exported, not the taxes or the duty along with the product should be exported. So in tune with the World Trade Organization, India is right now implementing the remission of duty or taxes on export product, as a result of which the duty or taxes which is paid by the export producers will get remitted to them, as a result of which the product will be very cheaper in the local international market, and because of the cheaper availability of the Indian products in the global arena, the demand for it will get increased, as a result of which the export will get increased and the forex revenue could be earned. The same as the case of this similar like objective is also for the duty exemption scheme. Since the import tax has been neglected to make a product which is to be exported, then the input cost will get reduced, as a result of which the overall product price will get reduced. So it will be very cheaper in the international arena. So more number of demand will be created, and as a result of which the export will get increased, and more number of forex reserve could be earned. Fourth is the rules as well as regulations have been eased EASCD to promote the foreign direct investment in India, which is the non-debt investment, so that India could be able to earn more number of forex reserve in India from the international arena. So what we needed to study further is we should know about what does the balance of payment crisis is about, and what is first we needed to know about what is the balance of payment and what is the balance of payment crisis is about. Right now it is happening in Sri Lanka. Second is we should know about what is current account as well as capital account individually. These two combined will be called as balance of payment account. Third is we should know about what is depreciation, what is appreciation of currency, what is devaluation of the currency. So, and what is the difference between depreciation and devaluation? Of the currencies amount. So these are all the other things which we needed to know. So let's have a look into the UPSC prelims question which was asked in relation to the news which we have seen now. Which one of the following groups of items is included in India's forex reserve? Foreign currency asset, special drawing rights, loans from foreign countries. Second is foreign currency asset, gold holdings of RBI and special drawing rights. Third is foreign currency asset, loans from World Bank and special drawing rights. D, that is option 4, foreign currency asset, gold holdings of RBI and the loans from World Bank. So option B, foreign currency asset, right now we have discussed gold holding as well as special drawing rights along with reserve will encompass the forex reserve of India. Okay, sharp spike in global fertilizer price set to hit subsidy bill. Right now, after the Russian-Ukraine war, the prices of the fertilizer as well as the raw material that is required to make a fertilizer has skyrocketed, but it has eased to the minimum rate during September as well as October period, October 2022 period. But right now the price again is getting skyrocketing at the international arena. So as a result of which, if India is importing certain fertilizers as well as the raw material that is required to make a fertilizer from international arena. So rise in the price of international fertilizer as well as raw material product would raise the import bill. So not only the import bill, it could also raise the fertilizer as well as the fertilizer cost in India. If the fertilizer cost in India is getting increased, means the input cost of the agriculture will get increased, and the rise in input cost will get transferred to output cost, rise in output cost. Then it will be leading to inflation, consumer price inflation, which the consumer is buying. So in order to stem the crisis, government is going to increase its fertilizer subsidy, which the government has budgeted in the February March period. Right now it is going, government is planning to increase the subsidy bill which was budgeted during the budget period. So right now the situation is not it is the what to say, it is a situation. So the government needed to revamp as well as adjust the budget so that the input cost of the agriculture products will not get raised, and also at the same time the farmers will not get affected. So this is what the news is related to. So how the news is related to civil service exam is that it is related to UPSC GS3 agriculture topic. Under the agriculture topic specifically, it is related to issues related to direct and indirect farm subsidies and minimum support price. Okay, let's discuss about what is the fertilizer is about. Fertilizer could be able to produce by natural or by artificial means, and it consists of important major constituents like NPK, that is nitrogen, phosphorus as well as potassium, and other micronutrients like molybdenum, zinc and so on and so forth. So this is what the fertilizer is about, and it acts as the input for the agriculture produce. And fertilizer subsidy, right now the urea, which is the fertilizer, is under the administrative control of Government of India. And how the subsidy has been given to the farmer is that the government will be giving the subsidy to the fertilizer producing companies, and the fertilizer producing companies will reduce the overall cost of the product by subsidy, and they will be giving the remaining they will be transferring the remaining product price to the farmers, as a result of which the farmers will be getting the subsidized fertilizer from the fertilizer companies. And urea is covered and is entirely administered by the government. The urea's price is administered by the government, but in the case of non-urea, it is administered by the nutrient based fertilizers. So nutrient, what is the nutrient based scheme is about? In the case of urea subsidy, the government will be giving subsidy based upon the quantity of the products that has been sold to the consumers. But in the case of nutrient based subsidy, the government will be giving subsidy based on the content of the nutrient that is present per kg in the fertilizer. And also the additional, if the fertilizer contains additional micronutrients like molybdenum or zinc, then additional subsidy will be given. So this subsidy will be given to the fertilizer company, and the fertilizer company will be reducing the subsidy which they got from the government from the overall production cost, and they will be transferring the remaining cost to the farmers, and the farmers, as I said, will be receiving the fertilizer at the subsidized price. So that why the government is implementing the nutrient balance scheme is that during the period of 1992, the government decontrolled the urea's production in India, except the not decontrolled the non-urea fertilizer production in India, and but it controlled the urea's production in India, so that the input cost of the farmers will not get raised. What has happened is that after 1992 to till 2010, because of decontrolling of non-urea production in the country, the price of non-urea went very high, because during this period the government doesn't control the non-urea fertilizer, it gave the control to the market itself. So market decided the non-urea product, the non-urea fertilizer prices increased during this time. But during this time, the urea's fertilizer was heavily subsidized or under the control of government of India, as a result of which the urea's price was very less, cheaper than the non-urea fertilizer. So the farmers were heavily focused on urea buying because its cost is very less. So they focused on urea buying, as a result of which the input which was sourced from urea is applied to the production of agriculture products, as a result of which there was some imbalance in the nutrients of the products that is produced from urea, because the non-urea fertilizer contains other nutrients like potassium, phosphatic and other micronutrients, but in the case of urea it is mostly consists of nitrogen and other micronutrients only, but heavily it contains nitrogen and ammonia and then nitrogen. So excess usage of urea for the agricultural production led to agriculture stagnation. Not stagnation, it is inefficiency, and it environmental damage. Then it led to some ill effect to the health. Health of the people, those who have consumed the products which is made only from the urea fertilizer. Urea fertilizer means only from certain the nutrients that is present in urea, not the consumer could not able to get other nutrients which is very helpful for the healthy growth of human life, which is available in the non-urea fertilizer. The consumer didn't get the nutrients that is present in the non-urea fertilizer. So it led to problems like agricultural inefficiency, environmental damage, as well as ill effect to the health. To overcome this, government made to regulate the non-urea production in India, so that nutrient-based subsidy scheme was introduced in 2010, where the subsidy was given with respect to the nutrients that is present in the fertilizer, so that the optimum nutrients in the fertilizer is ensured. Second is that those optimum presence of nutrients in the fertilizer will be given to the farmers at the subsidized price. So if the government will be announcing the fertilizer subsidy for each new nutrient in the fertilizer at the beginning of the season. If the particular fertilizer contains every nutrient at the specified quantity, means then that particular non-urea fertilizer will be getting the subsidy. That company will be getting the subsidy, and that company will be transferring the subsidy to the farmers, as a result of which the farmers will be getting the non-urea fertilizer at the subsidized rate. So by doing this, what the government aims to do is that they wanted to reverse the negative damage that was done by heavily concentrating on urea. So they wanted to promote health, balance in the nutrients, so that the ratio of NPK, that is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium in the agriculture input, that is fertilizer, will be in the ratio of 4:2:1. Second is, because of the balanced nutrient input to the soil, the agriculture production will be very high, so that the agriculture efficiency will be increased. Third is, there will be environmental sustainability. Fourth is, because of all this, human health will be very good. There won't be any kind of ill effect like the case of using only the urea as the input material for the plant agriculture production. So and it is being implemented by Ministry of Chemical as well as Fertilizer. This is what the broad outlook of the nutrient based scheme is about. Okay, what is the issue of the scheme is that even though the non-urea fertilizer is came under the subsidy of the government, it is technically out of the government subsidy. How it is that is the company which is producing the fertilizer will be availing the fertilizer only if the specific quantity or the specific nutrients that the government provides as the subsidy is present in the fertilizer. If the specific amount of nutrients that is not present in the fertilizer, means then the company could not able to avail the subsidy. So in most of the case, they could able to avail subsidy only partly, or at the same in most of the case they could not able to avail the subsidy, because the quantity of the nutrients that is present in their produced product is not in tune with the government regulations. So most of the time the fertilizer that is produced by the company is higher only, because of the situation, because of the criteria that has been emphasized by the government, like giving subsidy based on the nutrients. If the specific kind of nutrients is present only, they will be able to get the subsidy. If it is not present, means they could not able to get the subsidy. In most of the case, they could not able to get the subsidy, or if they are getting, means only part of the subsidy only they are getting. So the price was very higher. But during this time also, the urea is under the administrative control of Government of India. The urea is left out of the nutrient based subsidy scheme. So the farmers does not reduce the buying of urea. So right till now, the heavy excess usage of urea for the agriculture input is not stopped. And since the government is trying to regulate or administratively control the fertilizer production in India, it led to crowding out of the private companies. Third is, because of the increased subsidies that has been given to the fertilizer, there is heavy fiscal burden that has been added to the government fiscal policy. So this is what the issues in nutrient based subsidy scheme in India. So what is the overall fertilizer subsidy issues in India. It led to, in the fertilizer subsidy, government is giving subsidy to every agriculture, every farmers. There is no differentiation between the small, medium or larger farmers. As a result of which, the larger as well as the medium scale farmers, those who have capacity to buy the fertilizer without the subsidy also, they are getting the subsidy. As a result of which, the smaller farmers could not able to get the subsidy, and even though if they are getting the subsidy also, the overall cost of the subsidy is very higher, because those who are or who have the capacity to buy the fertilizer is not exempted from the subsidy schemes, fertilizer subsidy schemes in India, so that the wastage of resource is happening because of lack of targeted beneficiary. And then because of subsidy that has been given to the fertilizer, as we have discussed here before, that heavy excess usage of urea based fertilizer, there is the environmental degradation that is happening in India. Third is the economic cost, because of the lack of targeted beneficiary and also increase in inflation as well as external increase in the international prices is leading to heavy subsidy bill to India. As a result of which, fiscal burden of the government is getting increased, and then because of the fiscal burden, the government is not having enough fund to focus on other developmental activities. Fourth is the health impact, as which we have discussed in the previous slide itself. Because of the environmental degradation and lesser amount of agriculture production, the human health is getting impacted. How it is getting impacted is that because of the degradation as well as the lack of availability of the agriculture products, and even if it is available also, the nutrients that is present in the agriculture product is not in a correct balance to reduce the nutrition hunger that is prevailing in India. Fifth is the low productivity of agriculture, which we have discussed. So these are all the overall issues in relation to the subsidy, that is fertilizer subsidy, that is happening in India. So what we needed to study further is, we should know about the neem coated urea, what is the neem coated urea is about, and then we should know about what does the urea gold is about, what is the difference between both of them. Third is, we should know about the soil health card, and then one nation, one fertilizer scheme. Okay, these are all the other things which we needed to be aware of. With reference to chemical fertilizer in India, consider the following statement. At present, the retail price of chemical fertilizer is market driven and not administered by government. No, it is wrong. Right now only we have spoken both the urea plus non-urea fertilizer are administered by the government only. In that, urea is heavily administered, but in the case of non-urea, it is administered based upon the nutrients that is present in the privately produced fertilizer. And ammonia, which is an input of urea, is produced from natural gas. Yes, the second statement is correct. Ammonia can be produced from natural gas. Sulfur, which is the raw material for phosphoric acid, is a byproduct of oil refineries. Yes, sulfur will act as the byproduct for oil refineries also. Yes. So the answer is option B, 2 and 3. President to launch advanced frigate Vidyandri in Kolkata and on August 17. The president is going to launch Vidyandri frigate, which is produced under Project 17A. The Project 17A aims to produce 7 frigates. In that, 4 frigate ships will be manufactured by Mumbai-based Mazagon Dock Ship Builder Limited, and the 3 will be built by Garden Research Shipbuilders and Engineering Limited, which is present in Kolkata. And the Vindhyagiri frigate, which is going to be launched by President of India under some Project 17A, is manufactured by Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineering Limited, which is present in Kolkata. The project's first 5 ships, this is the 6th ship out of the total 7 ships. This will be the 6th ship, and the 5 early and the remaining 5 ships are already been produced, and it is right now running in the waters, oceans. So in the out of the 7 ships, with including Vindhyagiri, the first 6 ships is named after the Nilgiri class submarine. With this, the Nilgiri class submarine are designed as well as produced during 1970s, and it was in operation till 2013, and with keeping the same name of Nilgiri class submarines to the 6 frigates that is produced under Project 17A. What the government is signaling is that government is respecting the India's navy heritage, but also at the same time it is focusing on the future development. And in the project, nearly 75% of the products or the inputs will be sourced from India's local MSMEs, as a result of which employment and then research and innovation will be promoted in India itself. So this is what the news is related to. Okay, how the news will be is related to UPSC exam is that it is related to UPSC GS3 Science and Technology under subtopic called Indigenization of Technology and Developing New Technology. Okay, what is in the before slide I have mentioned about the features of 17A, Project 17A. Let's discuss about what are all the advantage that India will be getting from implementing the Project 17A. The economic development as well as employment generation, because of sourcing of 75% of the input products locally from the MSME will enable to economic development as well as employment generation in India. Second is enhancement in construction technology. Because of producing the frigates by ourselves will lead to enhancement as well as mastering the construction technology by India. Third is India's capability to act as the security providers in the Indian Ocean for the small island state as well as low as well as underdeveloped or poverty country will get increased, and also it will bolster India's capability to become blue water navy. Blue water navy is the symbol of a country. If the India could able to reach the blue water navy, means India could able to okay, if the particular country is attaining a status of blue water navy, means it could able to operate globally at the larger oceans, not to apart from the oceans that is present besides the country, and it will be reducing India's import dependence, because of as a result of which India could be able to reduce the outgo of the Forex reserve. These are all the major benefits: economic, security, technological as well as social benefits that will be arising out of implementation of the Project 17A. So what does the Nilgiri class submarine, which we have talked about right now, means? It is the updated versions of Leander class frigates of Britain, and it is designed and built by Mazagon Dock Limited in Mumbai, and the 6 ships are built between 1970s to early 80s, and the 6 ships names are Nilgiri, Himgiri, Taragiri, Udaygiri, Dunagiri and Vidyagiri. All the 6 ships names are being replicated to those ships which are produced under Project 17A, and it is decommissioned in 2013. This is what the speciality in relation to Nilgiri class submarine is about. Okay, let's discuss about the Defense Acquisition Council. Why we have want to discuss is that these kind of projects will get approved only if the Defense Acquisition Council gives a go ahead, and it is the highest decision making body on procurement, and it is formed after the after the recommendation given by group of ministers committee after the Kargil war. A group of minister committee was formed to look into the national security of India. So based on their recommendation, Defense Acquisition Council was formed. Third is Defense Minister is the chairperson of the Defense Acquisition Council, and it will be giving an in principle approval for 15 years long term integrated perspective plan of the defense force, and it will be according the acceptance of necessity to acquisition proposal, and it will categorize the acquisition proposal whether whether the proposal should come under buy, or the proposal should come under buy and make model, or the proposal should come under make model. So this kind of categorization will be done by the Defense Acquisition Council, and it will take decision regarding the offset provision if the proposal is above 300 crore means. Offset provision is nothing but the certain the foreign companies which have bought the contract to produce army or defense equipments for India, or produce defense equipments for India, needed to source a certain percentage of the products locally from India to make those defense products for India. Such provision is called as offset provision, and the decision regarding to it will be taken by Defense Acquisition Council if the proposal is above 300 crore. So what we needed to study further is, we should know about the project 75 and then the project 75I. What is the aim of them is about. Second is, we should know about India's aircraft carriers and their special features. Third is, we should know about what is the SP model. Then we should know about what is buy model, buy and make model, and then make model of defense is about. This SP model, buy make model, make model are the model to promote the indigenization in India. Which one of the following is the best description of INS Astradharani, and that was in the news recently? It is option C, torpedo launch and recovery vehicle. Okay. The news is related to the Parliamentary Privilege Committee. Why it has been appeared today is that recently the Congress MP as well as Aam Aadmi Party MP was suspended based on the report of the Privilege Committee. So what are the parliamentary privileges about? First, we have to know about parliamentary privilege and then the working of the Parliamentary Privilege Committee. Parliamentary privilege means certain rights or immunities that will enable the member of parliaments or the member of legislative assembly in the case of state legislator to work independently without any fear of being deterred. When the constitution framed the founding document, what they have said is that parliamentary privilege will be what are all the things which constitutes parliamentary privilege needed to be specified in law by the parliament, and until such law has been framed by the national legislature, that is our Indian Parliament, the privilege in India will be taken from the House of Commons, that is the lower house of United Kingdom. But in 1978, the Parliament through an amendment deleted the reference to House of Commons, but the national parliament did not make any law mentioning what are all the privileges that the member of parliament will have. Right till now, there is a vacuum in relation to the legislation with regard to the what are all the privileges that the member of parliament in parliament can have. And then how the parliamentary privilege are regulated in India is through the certain constitution provisions like article 105 and 105, and through certain statutory laws, and then through house procedures, rules of the corresponding houses, and then conventions. These are all the things which right now regulates the parliamentary privileges of the particular member. So how does the parliament act if there is any kind of breaches of privilege? It will be acting on two types. The first is if the particular individual is raising the breach of parliament privilege to the speaker or the chairman of the corresponding houses means, then the house itself will be deciding the punishment to the person against whom the breach of privilege has been raised. Or the second case, the speaker or the chairman will be directing the the complaint to the privilege committee of the parliament, and the privilege committee will be formed by speaker. In the case of Lok Sabha, it is 15 members, and in the case of Rajya Sabha, it is 10 members, and the chairman of the Lok Sabha will be nominated by speaker and the members, and in the case of Rajya Sabha, it will be the chairman will be nominated by the chairman of Rajya Sabha, and the 15 members will be appointed by the speaker and the 10 members will be appointed by the chairman of Rajya Sabha. So what action a committee can recommend to the house is that they will issue admonitions, sometimes reprimands, sometimes suspension, and in a rare case they will recommend expulsion, like in 1978 where the Lok Sabha Privilege Committee recommended the expulsion of then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, which was again revoked by the next Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha's Privilege Committee's recommendation. So this is what the working of the Parliament Privilege and the Parliament Privilege Committee in India. So this news is related to Civil Service, UPSC GS2, Parliament and State Legislature under polity topic. So parliamentary privilege, according to Article 105 and 194, it has mentioned some privileges to MPs as well as MLAs. What it is mentioned in the form of special rights, immunities, and then exemptions to the MPs as well as MLAs, and it does not extend those kind of privilege to the president, who is also part of the parliament. And there are two types of privileges. One is collective privilege. Collective privilege is collectively the rights. Collectively, the parliament will be publishing the reports, debates, as well as proceedings, and they could collectively prohibit others from publishing the same, that is the report, debates, or proceeding. But because of the 44th Amendment Act 1978, the freedom of press has been restored. That is, the press could publish the reports of the parliamentary proceedings without the approval of the parliament, but the report should be very true. It should not be false, or it should not derogate the function of parliament, and they themselves can make rules to regulate their own procedures, and they could punish their members if the member has done any certain wrongdoings, like the case of privilege. First kind of action that will be taken in the parliament if the privilege issues happened against privilege issues raised against the speaker, which we have discussed in the previous slide. And courts are prohibited to inquire into proceedings of houses or the committees. So this is for the collective privilege of the parliament is about. Second is individual privilege. He cannot be arrested during the sessions of parliament, and also 40 days before and 40 days after the end of the session of parliament. And he is exempted from the jury services. That is, he could not be a witness of a case whenever the session of the parliament is going on. Third is freedom of speech in the parliament. That is, MP, a member of parliament, will not get punished if he is talking anything in the parliament. Punished means not. What I am saying is that punishing in the case that is in the form of judiciary punishments or some other executive punishments, like using enforcement agency. Such kind of punishment is not allowed if the member have talked anything against the government inside the parliament. And privilege motion, which we have discussed the first slide itself. So that is this topic's first slide itself. Okay, what we needed to study further is we should know about, so why this kind of privilege has been given is that because of which the member could able to freely do their work without any hesitation. Second, it safeguards the parliamentary honor or the respect it holds, so that it will instill the confidence on the people in the parliamentary function. So because of these two reasons, the privilege have been given to the parliament. So freely to work means a member could able to raise any issue or say his opinions with regard to any kind of issue without any kind of fear or hesitation. So this is what the democracy is. So this is the reason why a privilege has been given to him. So what we needed to study further is we should know about what are the other parliamentary committees. Second is we should know about the parliament as well as state legislatures. Third is we should know about the functioning of president in India. Consider the following statement. The Parliamentary Committee of Public Accounts consists of not more than 25 members. No, it is not so. Not more than 22 members, which includes members from both Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. 22 members, out of 22 members, 15 members will be from Lok Sabha, 7 members will be from Rajya Sabha. So the statement 1 is wrong. See, scrutinize appropriation and finance account of the government. Yes, the statement 2 is correct. And it examines the report of the CAG. So both the statement B and 3 is, 2 and 3 is correct. B. Baluch militants attacked the Pakistan convoy with Chinese national near the Gwadar. So this is what the right now news is. Right now, CPEC infrastructure development has been happening in Balochistan region as well as near the Gwadar area as an initiative of Belt and Road project, Belt and Road scheme of China. So how the news is related to UPSC exam is that it is related to UPSC GS2 international relation under a topic called effect of policies and politics of developed and developing countries on India's interests. So CPEC, this China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, is implemented under the major initiative called Belt and Road Initiative of China. It has been launched in 2013 to link the Southeast Asia with the African Gulf as well as the Europe region through the land as well as sea route, so that the global presence of China could enhanced. So under the Belt and Road Initiative, CPEC is getting implemented. What the CPEC aims about is that it wanted to connect the Southwest China, that is Xinjiang province to, one minute, there is some technical issue. Sorry, connect the Xinjiang province to the Arabian Sea through the Balochistan as well as Gwadar region by building infrastructure at the Baluch region as well as building the deep sea port at the Gwadar region. So how it is going to impact India is that the CPEC corridor, the part of the corridor is passing through Pakistan occupied Kashmir, which is right now in dispute between India and Pakistan, and India has the every right over the land, all the right over the land. So it directly violates the India's sovereignty, and then it will enable the Chinese control over trade. If the CPEC has been implemented fully, means then the Chinese domination over the Arabian Sea as well as the other region will get increased, and then it is acting as the Belt and Road Initiative is acting as string of pearls to India, that is it is encircling the India, like the case of Gwadar port in the west and Hambantota port in the south, and the Chittagong port in the east, and the Chinese region itself that is present in the north. So through this kind of Chinese presence, they are encircling India, which is very major security threat for India, and it will enhance the China-Pakistan nexus in terms of economic, political as well as the security aspects. What the impact is it will be creating on Pakistan is that the Pakistan wanted to overcome the infrastructure shortfall through the CPEC project, and it is aiming to transform the country from agriculture to the industrial production country through the CPEC project, and it wanted to increase the employment in the country. So these are all the benefits which China aims to brings from, which the China wants from the CPEC. But what actually happened is that China has right now been the implementation of the CPEC project is getting delayed because of the cost overrun, which arises due to some implementation issues like environmental sustainability and local people's agitation against the project. Second is the insurgency problem, that is like the case of Baluch, where the right now militants attacked the Chinese individual. So insurgency problem is also creeping out, so that the implementation of the CPEC is getting delayed, and then the political crisis in the Pakistan, and what the Pakistan aimed is that it wanted to increase its employment and to increase its industrial base, but what actually happened is that it fell into the trap, that is debt trap of China. This is the one of the reason why right now the Pakistan is facing the balance of payment crisis. So this is what actually happened in the implementation of CPEC to the Pakistan. So what we needed to study further is we should know about India-China's relation, India-Pakistan relation, and Sri Lankan debt crisis. So these are all the other things which we needed to be aware of. So UPSC prelims question which was asked in relation to the news we have seen now. Belt and Road Initiative sometimes mentioned in the news in the context of affairs of African Union, Brazil, European Union and China. So I want those students, those who are watching the current affairs session, please do comment answer point for the correct option for the question which you are seeing right now on the board, so that it will be increase the interactability between the students as well as the academy and the students. So we have reached the end of the session, students. Please like, comment, subscribe as well as hit the bell icon, so that you will be getting the daily current affair notification relation and also other important notification that will be posted into you in the Ganesh IAS YouTube channel in the near future. Thank you.